Alrighty, so it's about that time. It's Monday. That means you have submitted questions and you must demand it. Q&A time here on OTRSCentral. Whippity whip, skippity skip, and whoopity woo. Alrighty, let's begin, shall we? Oh, special note before I do. Yes, Wednesday again will be Wacky Wild Wednesday for the Q&A. Get those crazy, fun, wild, off the wall, wacky questions ready. You guys seem to enjoy sending in the questions. I sure as hell enjoy answering them and recording the Q&A video, and you seem to respond very well to it. So let's keep it going every Wednesday, shall we? All right, let's get started with the but now super serious Monday Q&A. Dexter C73, will the WWE be around 10 years from now? Yeah, I think so. Uh, what state the company will be in, how big they will be, how well off they will or will not be, I think that's a different discussion. But would I venture a guess that the company itself will still be around 10 years from now? Yeah, I think it's a pretty safe guess. I mean, there's been a lot of doom and gloom for the company at different points in time throughout the years, and they've made it over 50 years. So I got to go based off of history that they'll be around at least another 10. And he also asked, which 5 black wrestlers in WWE history should have been world champion? World champion or WWE champion? If you say WWE champion, then I will go Ron Simmons, Mark Henry. I think those are 2. Booker T, I think is number 3. I think you could have made an argument for Bobby Lashley and could have made an argument for Shelton Benjamin for different reasons. So those would be 5 right there. Keys 10 wants to know, is TNA being owned by Panda Energy a big part of the problem? If by being owned by Panda Energy you mean it's a problem because Dixie Carter's been running the show, then perhaps. But it's also Panda Energy and their money that has propped up that company artificially for years at the level that they're at. So as a result, you could say on the one hand yes and on the one hand no. But because of the association with Dixie Carter, you could say it's a big yes. And let's see here. He also wants to know, if not Sting, who should Bray Wyatt have a WrestleMania 31 match with? Well, they're doing Ambrose now, so it can't be Ambrose. I don't think timing's right for him and Reigns. I already did Cena last year. Uh, maybe Luke Harper? Maybe Seth Rollins? No, those would be a couple that maybe come to mind. Let's see here. Sidney Simeon. When Jeff Jarrett dies, do you think WWE will give him a 10-bell salute or tribute that raw to his memory? Well, I don't care. Maybe, maybe not. It's hard to predict. I don't know. That's actually a pretty good question. I don't know the answer to. I don't know if anybody knows the answer to it. All right, so there we go with that one. Let's see here. Rampager 213. Besides WrestleMania 17 and Money in the Bank 2011, what are some of the most overrated pay-per-views of all time? Overrated pay-per-views of all time. Huh. WrestleMania 17 is definitely on that list for me. Money in the Bank 2011 is definitely on that list to me. Those are 2 of the ones that perhaps stand out to me the most. I think WrestleMania 30 will eventually go into that overrated category in terms of it was good, yeah, but a lot of ifs and buts about that show. I think a lot of people overrate that just because Daniel Bryan won the belt. It was great, and it was his moment. It was the right thing to do, the right time to do it. But that doesn't mean the entire show was great, and that doesn't mean that the show didn't have significant problems. It at least did feel like a WrestleMania, and it still did feel like a good show, like WrestleMania 28 did. So that was a positive. But I think that could be a show that goes down as being a somewhat overrated show as time goes along. I really, really do. Any other ones that really stand out to me at this time? I don't know so much. Principal NYNB, what exactly about Biker Taker or American Badass Taker do you hate, and what makes you hate it? I could say it very simply is because it wasn't Dead Man Taker. I didn't fucking like it, and that's part of it. It just never jived with me though. It never flowed with me. It never meshed with me. I just never got into it. I don't know why. Maybe it was just because I didn't want one of my all-time favorites to just be this basically kind of monotone biker dude. Maybe it was because Taker talked too much, or they did a lot of stupid heel face character changes with him that just didn't work out so well. It was a lot of different things that I just particularly didn't like about it. I just never really cared for him as a heel American badass biker taker. I really didn't in particular. So that's just part of it. Nebek Sid, Triple H versus Vince McMahon, 2 out of 3 quads. Winner gets televised math lessons from Scott Steiner. Who wins? Everyone. I win. You win. We all win if that ever happened. Ahmed underscore LW. Thoughts on Bam Bam Bigelow and your favorite match of him? And could WWE have done a better job with him? I think they could have done a better job with him. I liked Bam Bam Bigelow. I think he's one of the best big man workers, so to speak, in the history of the business. I mean, here's a dude that was 350, 400 pounds that could freaking do moonsaults. I mean, Bam Bam Bigelow was incredible. Honestly, my favorite match of his is him and LT at WrestleMania 11. That match had absolutely no business being as solid as it ended up being. LT worked hard, sure, but Bam Bam Bigelow made that match go and made it really work. And that's always my favorite match of his is, you think about it, Bam Bam Bigelow main evented a WrestleMania. Just think about that for a second. All the people over the years that never main evented a WrestleMania, like a CM Punk, for example, never main evented a WrestleMania, but Bam Bam Bigelow did. That's something, man. That's a pretty nice notch to have on the belt, a nice feather to have in the cap, even if it was a terrible show, WrestleMania 11, during a terrible year in 1995 for the WWF. I mean, that's my favorite match of his of all time. Let's see here. Real Ziggy 23, in your opinion, who had the greatest burials of all time? I don't know what you mean. Who had the greatest burials? Like who's been buried the most, or who has done the most great burying? Triple H goes into the great barrier category. John Cena goes into that great barrier category. There's no question about it. Shawn Michaels has his reputation earned, legitimately so, of being a bury type of guy. So those would be some of one. Let's see here. Matt Meffe 2. Should Daniel Bryan retire? No. I mean, I don't think he should retire. I mean, you talk about him having the Tommy John surgery or whatever. That's going to keep him out for another extended period of time. That's no good. As long as he doesn't risk permanent bad injury, like especially with the neck, then I think he should still wrestle if he chooses to. But if he's potentially going to risk himself and his health long term, not just in terms of always being in pain, but talk about like legitimately impacting his quality of life to the point where he could be paralyzed or something, then yes, he needs to go ahead and retire. Preston Helms in a triple threat Terry quad match between Triple H, Vince, and Kevin Nash. Who'd win? Again, the fans. Although Vince would win because he has the ability to tear 2 quads at the same time. Larkin underscore. Who do you think Chris Benoit hangs out with the most? I have a feeling you guys forgot that the funny Q&A, Whack a Wow Wednesday Q&A, was Wednesday, not the Monday edition. But damn it, I didn't sort through these questions ahead of time, so I'm just reading right fucking through them. Who does Chris Benoit hang out with the most? Probably child molesters, rapists, and murderers down in hell. Well, probably gets along with them, especially the murderers, especially the child killers. There's a special place in hell for people like that, and as a result, there's a special place in hell for Chris Benoit. Stephen Grabovic, can we expect you to do a show with members of the old Off the Rope show, or are you just too awesome for them? Well, I may indeed be too awesome for them, and that could depend on your perspective, and frankly, it's my perspective, and that's the only one that I care about, ever have cared about, or matters to me. But I'm sure at some point in time, something will happen with the old Off the Rope show members, I'm sure. BW Roses, thoughts on Bash at the Beach 2000 incident with Russo, Jarrett, Bischoff, and Hogan? An elaborate bullshit work shoot that came across like shit. That's exactly what that was. An elaborate, mapped out work shoot that came across like a piece of shit. Just a dumb thing to do for a dumb company at a dumb time being run by dumb people. That's exactly what that was. It was an excuse to get Hogan off of TV so they didn't have to pay him. It was an excuse for this. It was an excuse for that. And it was just a steaming pile of shit. Chrysler official, worst drop ball by WWE in 2014. For me, it's ending Bo Dallas's streak on the road to WrestleMania. That was a drop ball. Bray Wyatt as a character has been a pretty badly dropped ball as the years progressed. So I think you could definitely go there. Once they had Daniel Bryan actually win the belt at WrestleMania 30, they proceeded to put him in a feud with Kane. That's dropping the ball pretty badly as well. Those would be some of the bad droppings of the ball that I could think of. Black Zach 41. Thoughts on Muhammad Hassan's run in 2005? Do you think they could have made him a world champion? Frankly, I don't know if he was that good. Let's call it as I see it. It was an example of they needed to come up with a guy that could do that type of gimmick, but maybe he wasn't the right guy for that right gimmick. As I don't think he was very good. He most certainly wasn't ready for a featured spot. If you had somebody that was perhaps better and more well equipped, I think you could have taken that type of character and made a world champion out of him and a damn good one. Twins of Sanity, do you think the gobbledygooker and the bunny are a representation of Vince's way of telling us he's into bestiality? I'm pretty sure he likes mouth love for guys and he likes male buttholes, but I don't know if he is into bestiality. I don't know about all that. Let's see, your cyanide brain. Do you think Interstellar would have been better if it was about traveling through Dino Bravo's worm-filled holes? Again, you guys gotta wait to submit these questions. Damn it! These are for the Wednesday Q&A, not the Monday Q&A, you motherfuckers. Black Zach 41 did also want to know: are you done doing Raw reviews? No, just haven't done them in a couple of weeks, but I'm sure they'll be back up soon. Steph asks, do you think Beck Phoenix is sexy or is she too toned? I actually feel she has some great titties and a nice ass. I don't know. She kind of looks like a dude. I'm just saying, kind of looks like a dude. Not really into her and her style, so yeah. And then Steph asks, also asks, with your love of logic and payoff and storylines, I'm surprised you did not mention how Triple H returned 2 weeks after Survivor Series 2000. Why wouldn't you have loved for Triple H to be gone at least until February 2001 to sell the drop? Yeah, that is something I could have talked about. The fact that this guy got dropped from a freaking 2 stories up in a damn car, and 2 weeks later he comes out unscathed. Yeah, that is pretty stupid. So that's a good point you bring up there, Steph Askissa. All right, so thanks you guys for submitting your questions. Now is the time, since you've seen this video, and the Monday Q&A has been recorded, and as you're watching it, that means it's been uploaded, to go to Twitter at OTRSCentral and tweet your wacky, wild, crazy, off-the-wall questions for the Wednesday Wacky Wild Q&A. You could keep them about wrestling, or you can make them other wacky, wild questions. I don't give a fuck. It's about wacky, wild, off-the-wall shit. It doesn't necessarily have to pertain to professional wrestling. Can't wait to see, even based off some of the questions that you saw in this Q&A, I can't wait to see some of the questions you've got lined up for me Wednesday. Oh, baby. Make sure you keep checking out the Survivor Series review series on this channel. I'm getting close to the end of it. Thank God. All right, see you later.